Today. My name is Kirsten. We're going to do a really nice gentle practice today, focusing a lot on the neck and shoulders, and also some kind of detoxing, a lot of twisting, maybe a good little preparation for the holidays coming up here. So grab a seat, get comfy, cross legs or sitting back on your knees. You can allow your eyes to close or soften your gaze down past your nose. Take a deep breath through your nose. Inhale, filling up the lungs, and exhale through the nose, letting it all out. And again, nice deep inhale through the nose. Hold for a moment and exhale through the nose. One last inhale. And hold. And exhale. When you think you've exhaled all the way, exhale just a little bit more, really clearing out all the carbon dioxide from the lungs. And then return to a normal breathing pattern. Keeping attention on the breath for a minute. Notice the feel of the breath coming in through the nose, filling up the lungs, and going out. Notice any sensations you may feel in the lungs, the belly, the throat, the nose. Notice if the shoulders rise and fall gently with each breath. Notice if the belly expands a little bit and contracts with each breath. Relax the jaw. Relax the muscles of the face. Notice the quality of the air, the temperature of the air, any movement or stillness in the air. Notice if there are any scents or smells in the air. Now shifting attention to the sense of hearing. Notice if you can hear any very far away noises. Very quiet, far away. You don't need to identify what they are, just listening. And bringing the attention back to nearby sounds. A louder, closer by noise. And shifting focus to the sense of feel. Notice what it feels like to be sitting where you are sitting. Notice the feel of the ground supporting you. Notice where your hands maybe are resting on your knees or your lap. Notice the feel of your clothes against your body. Notice once again the air in the room, the temperature, any movement or stillness, a dry quality or damp quality in the air. Notice how the air feels. And starting to flutter the eyes open. Drop your chin to your chest, lengthening the back of the neck. Nice deep breath, feeling the length in the back of the neck. Allowing the crown of the head to grow slightly tall. Maybe it's not towards the ceiling, maybe it's kind of forward. And then using the chin, we're going to trace the shape of a smile. So drawing the chin to the left and up. Oh, hi, Maggie May. And drawing the chin back down to center and over to the right and up. And nice and slowly continue tracing this smile with your chin left and right. If there are any spots that feel especially tight, maybe pause there for a minute and nod your head left and right, just opening up that spot in the neck. And continue with the breath. Nice deep inhale to nourish the tight areas, a nice exhale to help them relax. Right, and when you're ready, come back to center and then bring the head back to neutral. Dropping the left ear to the left shoulder, we're going to place the left hand on the head. We're not yanking down on the head, so really it's just a very light touch. And then you can stay here, just kind of a really light guide with the hand, or if you'd like to use the head itself, pressing the head into the hand, helping to lengthen and extend this side of the neck. Nice deep breaths in and out. Then release the hand. Draw the chin down to the center and roll it over to the opposite side, right ear to right shoulder. Again, right hand to the head and pressing the head into the hand, really feeling the neck grow long, the spine grow long. The work is coming from the back and the neck and the head. Breathing. And release the grip. Roll the chin to the center and back up to neutral. Bring both hands behind the head, clasping the fingers. We're going to do the same motion where the hands are just a guide, but the head presses into the hands. So maybe tucking the chin just very slightly. Notice the work coming from the spine. And breathing, lengthening the back of the neck. And release the hands. Take a deep breath in and out. Clasping the hands again, bring the right underneath the chin. We'll go into a little bit of lion's breath. So inhale, looking up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, allow the elbows to float up and the head to come down. Inhale, looking up towards the ceiling, elbows down. And this time exhale through the mouth. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, nice H sound. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, lion's breath. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, lion's breath. And release the hands. Maggie May thinks that's hilarious when I do lion's breath. Girl. All right, bringing the legs to cross-legged Sukhasana, easy pose. So if you were sitting back on your heels, maybe just come to a cross-legged, but bring one foot, I know it's hard to see on the camera, but bring one foot just right in front of the other rather than crossing them over each other. Grow the front of the chest nice and tall towards the ceiling. Inhale and exhale, walk the hands forward, come into a nice forward fold. Walking the hands back up. Switch legs, so bring the opposite foot in front. Inhale, grow tall. And exhale, walk the hands forward, Sukhasana, forward fold. And walk the hands back up. Now bring the hands up overhead. Interlace the fingers and turn the palms up towards the ceiling. Nice big stretch. And release the hands, bend the elbows, cactus arms. Really drawing the shoulder blades back, allowing the hands to move back just an extra inch, opening the front of the chest. And release the arms. Bring the arms out to a T. We'll go into eagle arms. So crossing the left arm underneath the right. Go into a big bear hug if that's comfortable, or maybe play around with allowing the hands to continue to twist around each other. Maybe bringing the hands to touch, palms to touch, or fingertips to touch. Eagle arms. If this is uncomfortable, go back to the bear hug. Don't want to have any sort of pain at all in the shoulders. This is really just opening up the back of the shoulders, widening their shoulder blades. And release. Arms to a T. Other side, so crossing the right arm underneath the left. Eagle arms on the other side. And release. Shake out the wrists, shake out the arms. Excellent. All right, bring in the hands to the lower back. Allow the elbows to draw back and together, so really opening up the fronts of the shoulders. It's great to do this counter pose to some of our daily activities, maybe we spend a lot of time on computers or on phones or at a desk or kind of in front of us. So opening the shoulder blades back and the shoulders, opening the front of the shoulders is really, really nice counter pose. Go ahead and release the hands, maybe shake them out again. All right, we're going to come into hands and knees, a tabletop. We'll go right into a little bit of a cat and cow. So arching the back, dropping the head, cat. And, arching the back, looking forward, cow. Rounding the back, cat. And arching the back, looking forward, cow. Exhale on the cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale and inhale. And follow your own breath about 3 more times here. Good, now tucking the toes. Actually, pause, come back. Tabletop position. Turn the hands out to each side. So the left fingertips out to the left, the right fingertips out to the right. You can stay here or play around with walking the fingertips all the way around, a little bit by little bit, maybe just an inch at a time, walking them out and around towards the body. Noticing that nice rich wrist stretch. Once again, we don't want it actually causing any sort of pain or pulling. So if it's too much, maybe just walk back a quarter of a turn and stay there for a moment. And you can gently rock back and forth or front and back and really open up that wrist area. Perfect. Bring the fingertips back forward. Now go ahead and tuck your toes and hips raise up and back, downward facing dog. Maybe pedal out the legs here, so bending one leg, straightening the other, waking up the backs of the legs. And dropping the heels towards the ground. Ears right between the elbows. And breathing. Good. Drop the knees, come back to tabletop. Now turning the left leg out to about 90 degrees to the body. And then straighten the right leg behind you. And we're going to shift the weight into the left hand, coming into a side gate pose. Good. Drop the right hand, drop the right knee, and other side. So turning the right foot out 90 degrees, straightening the left. Left arm comes up and overhead. Long stretch all the way from the fingertips to the ankle. And drop the right hand, drop the left hand, left knee. There we go. Tuck the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog once again. And now walk the feet forward to meet the hands. Keeping the feet about hip width apart, just hang here in a ragdoll position. If you'd like, you can interlace the fingers and bring them right behind the head, similar to what we did in the beginning of class. Resting the hands on the back of the head and pressing the head into the hands, lengthening the back of the neck. Drop the hands to the floor. Taking a nice wide stance, drop the hips down, come into a wide squat here, Malasana. And we'll stay here in the squat and do just a little bit of a twist. So drop the right hand to the floor, left hand reaches up towards the ceiling, looking up to follow the left hand. And switch hands, left hand to the floor, right hand up, gaze follows the right hand. Go and drop the right hand. Walking the hands back around if you had turned like I did, and coming back into a forward fold. Now step the right foot back, leaving the left foot forward, nice bend in the left knee, and swoop the hands forward and up, crescent lunge. Opening the hands to a T, and then turn towards the left leg, crescent twist. Good, coming back to crescent lunge. Step the right foot forward to meet the left, bend the knees, stay here in a chair pose. And straighten the legs, Tadasana, mountain pose. Lift the arms up overhead, nice big stretch. And then side stretch, drop the right arm, stretch the left arm over. Arms back up, and other side. Arms back up. Inhale and exhale. Release the arms by the sides. We'll go into the crescent lunge on the opposite side. So stepping back with the left leg, swoop the arms forward and up, crescent lunge. Open the arms up to a T and twist to the right. Arms back up to crescent and stepping forward, bending the knees, chair pose, and straighten the legs, Tadasana. Take just a minute here, maybe take a deep breath in and out. Maybe roll the shoulders, shake out the hands, prepare for the next series. All right, taking a step back with the left leg, keeping both legs straight, bring the arms forward and back. And we're going to start to reach forward with the right hand, reach, 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 till you can't reach anymore, and then come down into triangle pose. You're going to drop the left hand, allow the left foot to kind of turn to face the front of the mat. So both feet are facing this way. Keeping the legs straight, fold over this front leg, pyramid. So if you have a block or something to lean on, that can be really helpful for this one. If the floor isn't quite there for you, just don't lean right on the knee unless you've got a little bend in the knee just to protect that joint. So find your comfortable fold here, pyramid. And when I say a block, it can be a book or a pillow or a chair or lots of things. I would say a dog, but mine tend to move around a lot, so they're not very helpful in yoga. All right, taking a nice wider step back, we're going to go right into a lunge and bring the hands on the inside of that bent leg, dragon lunge. Planting the left hand, weight goes into the left hand, raise the right arm up for a twist. And drop the right hand back down. Walking the hands around to the center, leaving the feet about where they are, keeping this right knee bent. I'm going to go into a side leg stretch here, allowing the left toes to reach up towards the ceiling. Nice straight leg. I know it's hard to see. It's super dark. I need better lighting. I say that every time. And walking the hands over to the left, we're going to do this on the opposite side. So straightening the right leg, bending the left. Good, and walking the hands all the way over to the left. We're going to go right into this series on the opposite side. So bringing the arms up to a T, straighten the legs, reach forward, and triangle pose on the left. And dropping the right arm, pointing the feet to the front of the mat or the back of the mat, and pyramid fold here. Widening the stance, bending the front leg, come into dragon lunge on the other side, both hands to the inside of the leg. Planting the right hand, lift the left, twist. And drop the right hand. Walk the hands around to the center. Heel toe the feet in a little bit narrower, but keep them a little wide, and then bend the legs, come into a wide squat once again. Good, drop the hands and come down onto the mat, dropping the knees. Widen the knees as wide as the mat. Bring the big toes together and shift the hips back. Hands walk forward, wide child pose. Drop the forehead to the mat. Come on back up. Narrow the knees just a little bit, so a normal kind of tabletop position. Shift the weight into the left hand and raise the right arm up towards the ceiling for just a moment. And then thread the needle, drawing the right arm underneath the left armpit along the ground, dropping the right shoulder towards the ground. Stay here, or you can walk the left hand forward. Nice shoulder opener twist. Good, and pressing back up with the left hand. Shift the weight to the right hand. Lift the left arm towards the ceiling. And then thread the needle right underneath the right armpit, dropping the left shoulder. And pressing up with the right hand, back to a tabletop. Bring the knees nice and narrow. Shift the hips back. Child pose. Unless you prefer the wide, you can go back into the wide child pose, but maybe play around with the knees together child pose. And then walk the hands around the body towards the feet. So just a different arm position. You can have the arms right by the sides, facing towards the feet if you prefer. Try that child option. And then pressing up with the hands. Come into a hero pose. So just sitting back on the heels for a moment. Hands to the thighs. Nice deep breath in, deep breath out. Pause. Absorb the practice we've done so far. And bring the hands to the lower back, similar to what we did in the beginning of class. Drawing the elbows back towards each other, opening the front of the chest, front of the body. Excellent. Release the hands. Come back to sit. Sitting on the seat. Bend the legs, feet on the floor, and windshield wiper the legs back and forth. And then stop on one side. So both legs bent, deer pose, both legs bent the same way. So for me, it's to the left. My left foot is up against my right thigh. And twist towards the bent knee. So reaching across with the right hand, looking over the left shoulder. And then leaving the legs where they are, twist the opposite direction. So bring the left hand across the body, looking over the right shoulder. And back to center. And windshield wiper the legs again. And this time drop them over to the right. Twisting over the right knee, looking over the right shoulder. And twist the opposite direction, looking over the left shoulder. And come back to center. Coming back up to sit on the knees, tuck the toes, and this time come to a high kneeling position. So if you want to grab a blanket or something to put under your knees for support, that's fine if it's too sore on your knees. We're just going to be here for a moment, a little camel variation. So bring the hands to the lower back, just like we did earlier. Draw the elbows together, really opening up the front of the body, looking up towards the ceiling, allowing the hips to open forward, shoulders to open forward. Not collapsing the neck, but just gazing up towards where the ceiling meets the wall. breathing, opening the front of the body. And release. Come to sit back on the heels, release the hands. Hero pose. Stay here for just a moment. Counter pose to the camel. Nice deep inhale. Nice deep exhale. Good. Now make your way into lying back on the mat. We'll do a little bit of a bridge pose to bring the feet nice and close to the body, knees bent, feet on the floor, hands by your sides. Maybe walk the shoulder blades down the back just a little bit for support. Plant the hands on the mat and start to raise the tailbone up, raise the hips up towards the ceiling, rolling the spine all the way up to bridge pose. And start to roll the spine all the way back down to the ground. Once again, raising the tailbone, raising the hips, growing tall towards the ceiling, bridge pose, and holding here. And rolling the spine back down to the floor. Straighten the left leg along the floor and take the right knee and hug it into the chest. And just rock the leg back and forth, giving a good little massage to the right side abdomen. And waking up digestion, giving the internal organs a nice squeeze. And release the right leg, straighten the right leg along the floor, bend the left leg, hug left knee into the chest, and rock the knee back and forth. And release the left knee, bend the right knee. Now take both knees into the chest. Hugging both knees in nice and tight. You can stay here, or if you like, you can raise the head and neck up off the floor, nose to knees, and hold and breathe. And release the head and neck. And release the legs one at a time back down to the floor. We'll get ready for our final relaxation, Shavasana. So bring the hands to the sides, palms face up. Walk the shoulder blades down and back, down the back a little bit and together. You can stay here, or if you'd like to, widen the feet about as wide as the mat and then knock the knees together. Constructive rest pose. Alternate is to allow the knees to fall out to the sides, bringing the soles of the feet together. Butterfly. Or you may straighten both legs. Shavasana, allowing the feet to just fall out to the sides with gravity. Closing the eyes. Taking a deep inhale through the nose. And a deep exhale through the nose. Relax the muscles of the face. Drop the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Allow the head to relax and be held up by the floor. the head to relax, the neck to release tension. Let the shoulders relax, the arms, the wrists, the hands, and the fingers. Relax the upper back, the middle back, the lower back. Relax the front of the shoulders, the abdomen, the hips, the legs, the ankles, feet, and toes. Allowing the whole body to release tension, let go of any holding or tightness. Allow yourself to be supported by the floor, letting go of gripping and tightness, just being held. Allow thoughts to pass by like puffy clouds. If a thought comes, watch it as the observer and let it go by, not jumping on board and following it down its train of thought. Allowing yourself to be present in this moment. Absorb the practice we just did. And be grateful for taking this time for yourself to attend to your own health and happiness and peace of mind. We'll stay here in silent Shavasana for a couple of minutes. I will guide you out when we're done. Starting to bring attention back into the room. Starting to deepen the breath. Bringing some gentle movement into the fingers and the toes. Circling the wrists and the ankles. Stretching the arms overhead. And in your own time, rolling over to one side or the other. Pause just for a moment. And then using your arms, press up to a seated position. Bring the hands, palms together, Anjali Mudra. Balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain. Balance our emotions and thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me for yoga today. Be well. Namaste.